Welcome back to Andersen Acres. We are here with Tequila, the Great Pyrenees again, because today we are going to talk about getting your livestock guardian breed, your livestock guardian doggy, used to small animals. So we've got the quail sitting here behind her, and I just want to give some pointers on doing that because we all need to get our livestock guardian dogs good with small animals. So we have quail on the farm, we have bunnies, we have chickens, horses, goats. We have got to have her calm and relaxed around the small animals. That's where a leash comes in. So we talked last time about leash training. There's a really good reason you need a good leash and your dog needs to respect the leash. So I'll link back to that video. If you don't have leash skills for your puppy yet, go back and get them, okay? So Tequila is excellent on a leash. Once your dog has leash skills, you can start working on their ability to be good with small animals. So how do you do that? The answer is exposure, okay? And the answer is exposure because 90% of your livestock guardian's training is actually based on instinct. Okay, so what you want to do is just bring her over. So we're using the quail because they're the smallest animal on our farm. You just want to bring her over to the quail. Tequila, come here. Come here. Good girl. Come here. Good dog. And you just kind of hang out with the quail. See, she's really calm with them. That's because we've done this a lot. This is not her first go round. Hey, there's a quail egg in there. So we just kind of hang out with the quail. If you have, see, she's not even paying attention to them. That's what you want. Okay, you want her not to pay attention. She's looking over at the cats right now. So you want her not to pay attention to the quail. Good girl. So what you do is you reward inattention. So, come here, sweetie. Come here. So if she's just like this at my side, kind of hanging out with the quail, but not really paying them much attention, you reward. Good girl. Just a good girl. She's like, what? We've done this 100 times, Mom. Yes. Good girl, good dog, there's a good doggy. So you just hang out with the quail. You do the same. Come on, sweetie. And yes, we have a more attractive fence up on this side. We are slowly doing more attractive fencing where you can see it. That's not the point of this video. We'll talk about that later. Come on, sweetie. So then you go over here and you hang out with your horses, your goats. Come on, honey. Good girl. And then you just have her sit. Tequila, sit. Good girl. You just have her sit. You tell her what a good dog she is. And you just hang out with the horse and the goats. Yes, I'm not letting you guys out right now. You just have to live with that for a few minutes. Okay? So then we take our livestock guardian. Come on, sweetie. Come on, we're going to go hang out with some kittens. There's kittens over here. Good girl. And you just do this a lot. So this is exposure. So we're just going to go hang out with these weirdo kittens. We got Jake and Bowser. And there's DK. Awesome. So she's not even paying attention to them. She's looking off over there. She's looking at her rabbits. So she ignores them. And you tell her once again, good girl, Tequila. Good girl, Tequila. And then you go, let's go, Tequila. And we're going to go hang out with bunnies. And this is literally what you do all day, every day. You reward inattention because you don't want them hyper-focused on your critters. Okay, so you reward inattention. And she's just walking here at my side as we walk over. Hey, Loki. So we just walk over here, we go hang out with Loki. Hi, sweetie. And we just hang. We literally are just hanging. She's just hanging out. There's Loki. And Tequila is not paying attention to the bunny. So that's a good girl, Tequila. She's just sitting down again. She knows I'm going to ask her. Good girl. What a good dog. And you tell her how good she is. Now, what do you do if your dog is suddenly paying attention or getting kind of weird with the animals? So if she was kind of pulling towards the animals or if she was getting kind of, you don't want her to pay too much attention to them, the real quick way is that's what your leash is for. One, you have a lot of control because your dog is on the leash, so you're not going to have any mistakes or accidents. So you just take your leash, your dog is paying too much attention, and you give a quick tug to the side, and you give whatever your correction noise is. So you might say no, you might say stop, you might say ah, or hey, or make a sound like chick, or whatever your sound is. We use hey most of the time, or ah. Depends on the level of her attention. So she's completely ignoring Loki here, which is what we want. So what do we do about animals that are a lot smaller? Okay, so let's talk about that. Let's go, Tequila. So this is where leash training is important, so she can actually walk on a leash, because she's a big dog, and she's only 5 months old, and she could totally pull me off my feet if she wanted. Good girl, because she's like 60 pounds already, and she's not overweight. Let's go. See, I don't demand perfect leash walking. She doesn't need that. She's mostly, they're kittens. Kittens. Yeah, we're just going to leave the kittens. Okay, so we don't need perfect leash walking because we're just hanging. We are just hanging. It's not a big deal. So she's hardly, sorry, dropping the camera. Come on, sweetie. Yeah. So then we're going to go hang out in here. And in here, I have teeny tiny babies. So we're just going to go in here. And what you need to do, because these guys are really, really little. So we're just going to ignore my incubators while I unzip this. Get that out of the way. Okay, so good girl, Tequila. So what we're going to, sorry, I just kicked the brooder. So we have teeny tiny quail, have a couple of different ages. Those really little ones are only like, I don't know, 36 hours old, 48 hours old. They're little. So what we're doing here is she's just hanging with these little guys. And yes, she's just standing here. She's kind of ignoring them. That's what you want. Now, if she's hyper-focused on these guys, again, you have to correct. Because the whole point is that she's fantastic with these little guys. So what I need to be able to do, and I can't really reach one. Haha. So I have a tiny little baby quail. You need to be able to show it to your puppy and have no eating. Okay? So she is fantastic. Good girl. What a good girl. That was perfect. Good girl. So that's what you need. You need your dog to be chilling with these guys. And the way you do it is exposure. So because she's been doing this for so long, I'm going to take the leash off because she doesn't need it. And I'm just going to leave her to wander in here. So right now she's sniffing at a box. So she's completely and totally good with these guys. I could leave her in here by herself, which is the point, because your livestock guardian is going to be by herself with the babies. So just to see what that looks like, she just laid down on this mat. She doesn't care. There's these tiny little babies. Get a good shot of them. And she doesn't care. So 90% of this is going to be instinct. The other 10% is going to be exposure. You have to hang out with these little things with your dog on the leash until you can trust her to be off the leash with them. You won't find things smaller than baby quail. Okay? They're barely bigger than my father's thumb. He's got big hands. But they're barely bigger than my father's thumb. These little ones. So, just to be clear, your dog needs to be able to function around them. They need to not hurt these little guys at all. And they need to be completely calm and alert while they're doing it. So she's fantastic. We've been working with her for 2 months since we got her. Do this as soon as you have basic leash skills. You do need to be able to use that leash. So as soon as you've got basic leash skills, you can absolutely train your dog to be this good around your babies. That's important because we always have baby chickens running around our barnyard, and she can't be eating them. That kind of defeats the purpose of a livestock guardian. So, hi guys. So yeah, these guys are doing phenomenal. They're having a good time. Oh yeah, they have water. Just double checking. So these guys are doing phenomenal, and she is a part of that. Okay, so take some time, expose your dog to your small animals while they're still young. This is why I advocate for getting a puppy, not an adult that hasn't been trained to be around small animals. Can you get an adult? Yes. If they've been around small animals, don't take in a Great Pyrenees that has lived in somebody's apartment and they just can't handle it anymore, because that's not going to go as well as you want it to go. Okay? So now we're going to zip this back up. Zip this back up. Zip, 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 zip. Sorry, babies. And we're going to pick up our leash because we don't actually need it. So once you have your dog excellent, she should just lay there. She doesn't care. Now we can do this off leash. Come on, Tequila. Come on, baby. Good girl. And here she is, of course, just hanging. So now we can, she's going to lay back down. She's like, I'm tired, Mom. I don't like being filmed. And here comes little tiny Jake. And just to see, that's what you want. She's just saying, hey, Jake. And she might play with her a little bit because she likes the kittens. But you want them to just be able to ignore these small animals, because otherwise what's going to happen is you're going to end up with dead quail or dead chickens. You don't want your dog to be responsible. The whole point is to get your dog to the point where you can just ignore her while she does her thing. And she's just going to go wander with the kitten, because that's what she does. She just goes and hangs with the kitten. So they're just going to go play in the bush. So that is about it for us here today at Andersen Acres, because they're going to go play in the bush and get full of wood ticks. They don't care. There's Bowser over here and the horse. So that's what you want. You want her to do exactly this. So spend some time getting your dog used to your small animals. Do it on a leash first. Have a good quality leash that you use, even if you're never going to use it again. Get your dog leash trained and then practice on leash before you trust them off leash. Yeah, they're in the bush. I know you probably can't see them, but I can. And little Bowser's over here wanting to go play with them, because they went through the bush onto this side. Right, Tequila? Yeah, you're a good dog. You are a good dog. And we got Bowser and DK playing over here. So this is how you want your dog to behave, even though there's a ton of animals. So we've got the chickens are all in the bush right now because they're eating bugs. And the horse and the goat are there. Obviously we have the baby quail over there. Kittens playing here. Adult quail over there. Some of our adult quail are new enclosure that I haven't shown you yet. But that's what you want. You want her to just be chilling, just be hanging out. She can play, she can explore, but she cannot eat the baby quail or the baby chickens or whatever. She's not allowed to eat them. So all that is time. Time and exposure. You're in the bush. Tequila, you're in the bush. Come on, get out of the bush. And we're always happy when we're talking to her. Here she comes. We're always happy when we're talking to her and excited because she's such a good dog. Reward your dog for good behavior. That is about it for us here at Andersen Acres. Remember to get your dog out among your animals at a very young age so they can learn to be excellent with the small ones. We'll see you tomorrow.